Did you know your body has a fat switch? And the big problem here is that most people's fat switch is in the off position almost all the time. So their bodies are never burning fat for energy. Well, today, I'm going to show you how to activate your fat switch and keep it on. And it's like one of those little dimmer switches. You can actually turn it on a little bit or turn it on a lot. We're going to dive into how your diet and exercise, but specifically diet, plays a crucial role in this process, in turning this fat switch on, and why most diets, you'll begin to understand why they just keep this fat switch pegged to off almost all the time. So by the end of this video, you're going to understand how to leverage carb fasting to achieve metabolic flexibility and unlock sustained energy and fat loss. So let's get started. First, let's talk about how our typical diet impacts our body's energy systems. Most of us consume a diet rich in carbohydrates. And when you eat carbs, they're broken down into glucose, which your body is going to use immediately for energy in the bloodstream. And this is what gives you that instant quick burst of energy after a meal. But our bodies are incredibly efficient at storing any excess glucose as glycogen in the liver and the muscles. So think of glycogen as your body's short-term energy storage. It's like your fuel tank. It's there for quick energy needs like sprinting or intense physical activity. But the problem arises when we constantly consume carbs, our bodies get used to this energy source only, and they rarely tap into stored fat. Essentially, our fat switch stays off because there's always a ready supply of glucose and glycogen. So how do we turn that fat switch on? Well, the key is to train your body to burn fat for energy instead of constantly relying on carbs. This is going to be achieved through a combination of diet and exercise, but diet is going to play the more significant role for sure. So carb fasting is a very effective method to achieve this. By alternating between low carb and regular carb phases, we're going to teach our body to become metabolically flexible. This means that your body can efficiently switch between burning both carbs and fats for energy. Because many popular diets have a significant flaw. I call it a fatal flaw. For example, if we look at the keto diet, this restricts carbs almost entirely. And this can be effective in the short term for fat loss and weight loss. But the fatal flaw is that it's not sustainable for almost anyone. And you can't really date this type of diet, and you have to marry it. People struggle with this long term because it's so restrictive in nature. And if we look at the carnivore diet, it's even more restrictive. This eliminates almost all carbs, focusing 100% on animal products. This isn't how our bodies were designed to function. Our ancestors didn't have access to meat all the time. They ate what they could find, which included a variety of foods. Our bodies were designed to burn both fat and carbs for energy. They went through phases where they ate a bunch of meat for a few days or a few weeks, and then they ate a bunch of carbs for a few days or a few weeks. And sometimes even a little bit of protein can also be used for energy. And I think this more balanced approach is how we've evolved. It's how God made us, and it's what our bodies thrive on. It's natural. So how do we get back to this natural instinct, this natural rhythm? Well, here's where carb fasting comes in. This method allows you to balance your intake of both carbs and fats, and this is going to create a natural ebb and flow that your body can adapt to. So here's how you can implement carb fasting in a super easy, practical way. Spend 1 to 2 days focusing on high-fat, high-protein foods. So foods like avocados, nuts, meats, fish, and leafy green vegetables. These foods are going to provide the necessary fats and proteins to fuel your body when carbs are limited. And it's going to allow the glycogen in the liver to deplete to the point where the body starts burning fat for energy. Then you're going to follow this with a day or two or more of regular carb intake. You're going to eat as healthy as possible, but you're absolutely going to include foods like fruits, sweet potatoes, whole grains, anything with fiber in it. And remember, you don't have to completely give up on your favorite foods like cheeseburgers or pizza, because carbs aren't bad. Excess carbs are bad. Carbs actually replenish the glycogen stores and keep our metabolism active. Personally, I carb fast on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On these days, I eat little to no carbs, under 20 grams for sure. It's just a super simple and effective way to incorporate carb fasting into my daily rhythm. It's not really a diet at all. It's more of like a lifestyle. And I never feel restricted because of my non-carb fasting days. I try to eat as healthy as possible, but I still eat pizza. I just don't eat the whole pizza. I have a few pieces. So here's a few tips to help you succeed with carb fasting like right now. First, listen to your body. Everyone's body responds differently to dietary changes. So pay attention to how you feel during each phase and sort of adjust accordingly. Some people might need to ease into carb fasting a little bit more gradually, and especially if you're on a carb restrictive diet, you want to ease into this concept for sure. Second would be to stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. This supports all of our metabolic processes, and it's just smart to do. Third, focus on high quality, unprocessed foods. The quality of the food that you eat matters. Processed foods can just eliminate progress. It can completely throw our body off kilter. It's going to make it harder for our body to switch to fat burning. And finally, be patient. Your body could take a little bit of time to adjust to this new eating pattern. So give it time and stick with it. You're going to start to see and feel the benefits. Because carb fasting is this powerful tool. It's this incredible concept that's going to activate your fat switch. It's going to improve your metabolic flexibility. It's going to improve your overall health. Oh yeah. And you will lose weight and fat because you're incorporating both low carb and regular carb phases. You're going to train your body to efficiently switch between using carbs and fats for energy. So if you found this video helpful, then comment below with any questions or ideas or experiences that you have with carb fasting. We'd love to hear how it's working for you.